Ho 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 ho. It is day 96. Almost just spilled my tea. It's day 96 of Naruto goodness. Where we are going to crack straight on into things. I've got my lovely cup of tea that I'm going to put over there. Got my giant cup of water right next to me there. Alright, we are ready. We are ready, Freddy. But we're going to do lots of ultimate jutsus and try and speed through this because I want to get to fight. I want to get down to the 3,400s. No, 3,300s. Late. Good. I've got my ice cream. Come on, Roshi. Wait, my dude. Bruh. Oh, come on. Bruh. Bruh, come on. Oh my god. Dude. There we go. Right, that was an absolutely rubbish first fight to get us going. So, right, from here on out, it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot smoother. We're going to chuck 5 jutsu on, help speed this thing up. I've got a feeling this is just setting the tone for the rest of the evening. But I'm scanning down my list. I don't see too many puppets. I don't actually see too many long range people really. I see a lot of Hinata though. Okay, and one more. No. Right, come on. Lovely. There we go. That's better. Oh, that. Anyway. Sorry. I was like, super focused on that. It is day 96. Another beautiful day. It's been actually pretty overcast today, actually, but I managed to get all my washing done and dried. So, winning. Simple pleasures in life. When the question comes to, what did you do on your long weekend? Got all my washing done and dried. An achievement in and of itself. So long story short, I need a much more interesting life. Okay, what is with the AI today? Is the AI just having... Is it just on like aggro mode or something? Here we go. Yeah, the AI is just on the absolute offensive today, but that's fine. That's okay. Improvise, adapt, overcome. don't you do two of these? Two of these ultimates. Lovely. Might actually do three of them even. No, we're not doing three of them. Just speed things up. No, don't want. Oh, thank you. That'll work. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous.
Don't challenge me.
Okay, right, we can do things again. I've picked it up. We'll make sure we're doing fireball jutsus wherever we can. Michael Rich. Hello, hello. How art thou? I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Lovely. Okay, right, there's my ice cream done. Oh, fabulous. Okay. Oh, also, today I learned you don't with Gen X. Oh no. Oh no, what did you do? What did you do to draw their ire? Or rather, what has a representative of Gen X done that's made you learn that?
Resistance is futile.
And then oh, that's right. That's right, the one that I'm recommending Final Fantasy games to. Son to the bank. Let's usually chat with him. You can play games on the Switch? Dang! Lucky. Customer came in, was a bit impatient. Oh no. Oh, did she lay the smack down? Ho ho. Yeah. Yeah. You only really go into the banks if there's like something that the internet can't do. saw him play the 16 they were all. She had a lot of questions and he absolutely loved it. Oh. Yay. Oh my goodness. Theory is that Ifrit is a third Rosfield brother. I mean, when I think about that game, as much as I think that the storytelling could do the little bit of a tune-up, the way that they've done it means you could do, there's so many avenues that story could go, and every single one of them would be as interesting, like just as interesting as the one that they did. I think she might get it from, how old is, because the nudity is very tame. You see more man ass than you do lady ass. I mean, the most like risque bits are either involving Clive or Barnabas, but that's better, yeah. It'll just be the violence, if anything, the blood. Yeah, well, I suppose the only scene that she would be like, well, actually the only two scenes, is, I'll say the two worst ones are the bit with Benedicta and Barnabas, and then that's probably the most like, ooh, actually no, it's like ooh and like, oh god, like this is what you'd see on like an HBO Max show. The only other one would be that weird one with Barnabas and Ultima, where it's like, you want naked Benedicta? Well, here's her as well as naked Hugo. And then we'll just throw naked mom in there while we're at it. Yeah. But yeah, the ratings scared him more than the actual game. It is, yeah. They definitely, I think, and it's one of the things about, you know, when a game's like, oh my god, it's got an R rating, it's so mature, blah blah blah. Like, no one actually like knows what it like. Everyone's just minds just go aflame with possibilities, and it's actually really tame. I mean, like, there's only the one scene where Clive and Sid and Jill are in that the special house in Sembrak for that one scene that you can hear something. And you're like, ugh. But that's it. In fact, I'd actually even say that the game gets less and less brutal the more you go along, or it focuses less on the brutality. The further you go into the game, it becomes less about that and more about that and less about, yeah, it becomes more about the fantastical elements about it and less about how rubbish everyone and everything is. Because it used to be fun to play, but not. That's an extremely fair statement. It's interesting watching the like speedruns of Final Fantasy 9, like, or even Final Fantasy 10 without the cutscene skips. Like, it's 10 probably a little bit less so, but definitely 9. It's interesting if you just how the camera angles are. There's a lot of reading, a lot of text boxes. I'd even say the same for 8 as well. Yeah, it's for a casual person who's either not into that style of game or whatever, you're like, whereas Which game would probably in the start? 13? I mean, 7 Remake and 60. I mean, the latest are probably the best examples of, and probably because they have the most recent, you know, you can see that, yeah, it is fun to watch. You could easily watch, like, the movie cuts where on YouTube where they just get only the cutscenes and they just splice them all together. Like, you'd happily watch that. And like, enjoy it. That's really the beauty of a Final Fantasy game, you know, is take the gameplay out completely and it's still a really, really interesting and engaging story with characters that you like and, you know, interesting mysteries and whatever. It's, yeah. I was watching a 30-minute, or 36-minute explanation, breakdown, dissection, analysis on Ultima as a villain, and I now understand. Like, I understand the story now, and I can actually now, like, appreciate what they were trying to do with the story in general, and I love it. And I just love it. The only gap for me in my head is just what the icons actually are, because I've seen like 3 different things, and I just need that final confirmation, and then every piece has fallen into place in my head, and I love it. First question to me was the infamous story was you have to play 15. No, my good man. Yeah. I'm surprised so many people asked, because no one asked when 15 came out, well, unless I was unaware, and it could just be I was completely unaware at the time that they were having these conversations. But I swear, like, when 50 came out, no one's like, do I have to play 14? Or when 14 came out, oh, do I have to play 13? And, you know, vice versa. It's only with this one, people are like, oh, do I have to play 15? So, have you seen 15? Does it look anything like this one? You know, yeah. But no, but for those who wouldn't know, then it's you would think with numbers, and I would even go so far as to say it'd be probably because of films like Fast and Furious 10. You kind of want to have at least some knowledge of the other 9 going into it to fully appreciate it. I've only seen snips of the first one, so Fast and Furious 10 wouldn't be my bag anyway. One more. Lovely. Tintin, Asuma. Oh my god, my voice is already starting to go. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Wait, really? They went to space? Are you kidding me? Like, that's like a that would be like a joke. Like, oh my god, what are they gonna do? Cars in space? Have they actually literally put a car in space? Oh my god. Really? Oh my goodness. I mean, they went to space last night. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not like I would say a particularly large car enthusiast. I like racing games, like I like my little Forza Horizons, but I'm not like I don't get excited about car films. But that's actually, I think if I was in the right headspace, I would enjoy the hell out of that. Just to be like, guys, what are you gonna do now? Just, how are you gonna top this, my guys? And then they just send the car into space. Oh no, Fast and Furious. What would be Fast and Furious 20? It would be they have managed to get a car to travel faster than the speed of light, so then they travel to different. But then they go so fast that they end up in another dimension where there's like car races, but it's like on a galactic scale. So it's like. But they're not like necessarily spaceships as such, it's like actual cars, but they're going faster than light. And then you've got a car race in hyperspace, a la Star Wars. And then, I mean, what else can you do? You'd have to fight Car God, like the god of cars, like an actual like god, and then they have to like challenge God to a race or something like you kind of like they'd eventually have to go there if they want to keep topping it over and over. As much as I don't think you'd have to like. It's very easy to do. No, what am I trying to say? Good racing soundtracks are like top tier. Like, it's, while you could say, oh, it's easy to do a racing game soundtrack because you just put any rock, any hip hop, any of that, basically anything they play in Need for Speed games. But I'm like, it's not as simple as that. There's like a delicate balance. Didn't even see what fight that was. Mine would be on fight 18. Bad. But I did see one thing. Where I was watching another video, someone doing the Bahamut fight in 16. And a lot of the people were saying this is like more spectacle and drama and intensity and just sheer visual joy than like blockbuster films nowadays. And it's like it's a sequence that like it's a sequence that films could very, very easily do. Like, you know, everything in that game can be done in a film, you know, set up a story or whatever, but like it is better than like big giant blockbuster films. It is more blockbuster than a blockbuster film, and it's just like, yeah, slowly video games are becoming like the entertainment and the storytelling medium. Like film is dying. I was watching a video today apparently with the Writers Guild strike in America. I don't know if it's the Screen Actors Guild, but if it's SAG or if it's but basically there's actors going on strike as well. Well, they've said like as of tomorrow they're all going to go on strike. And one guy was saying that what that will mean in practice is that when films are coming out, there's going to be no like press tours. There's no like red carpets. There's no press junkets the weeks beforehand. There's like the marketing for those films will be, you know, they can still do trailers and whatnot, but anything that relies on the actors themselves doing something won't be able to be done while this strike's going on. So Hollywood as a Hollywood is just dying a slow agonizing death, and video games and to some extent TV are becoming like the go-to. Yeah. That we had to write straight, let's see, tell. Exactly that. Yeah. They're like the writer strike and the writer strike brought to light, I suppose, or exposed so many things with production around that time. And yeah, it's just we're gonna see a massive shift in just how things are being done in the TV and film space. And it's just, yeah, and then meanwhile video games, I think, is it like confirmed or something that video games is the biggest selling entertainment industry now, ever. Like the video game industry has officially surpassed TV and film, I think. And I don't know if that's in revenue earned or everything, all in one, I'm not quite sure, but yeah. But there is something about interactive media though that TV and film just can't compete with. Ah, beans. Managed to cancel that. Games earn 4 times as much. Wow, that's mental. Like when you think of, like when the superhero movie genre was at its height, like Avengers was pulling in $1 billion. You think like, oh, surely with stuff like that, all the Marvel films pulling in like $1 billion each. But then like, nope, even with all that, video games is still bigger. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. But it's also, as a lover of this medium, that's nice. It's a nice thing. I will prefer a video game over a film any day. Lovely. It's because video games. Yeah, that's actually fair. Yeah, DLC is used as a way to extend the game's lifespan. Quality DLC can elevate a game even further. Yeah. And as much as you can say, oh, but there's certain films that will just forever last in the collective unconscious, there's films from the 80s that people will always remember. Like, well, same can very much be said about video games. In some ways too, because a film really just has, you know, it's got 2 hours to tell its story. You know, introduce all the characters, you know, do the whole plot, beat the bad guy, save the day, boom, one and done in like 2 to 3 hours. Video games have like 50 plus, you know. Video games can have as long as they need to tell their story. So, you know, while a good film needs to get you invested in the characters, you know, interested in the plight, raise the stakes, make you dislike the villain, all that sort of stuff in 2 hours. And while good films can do that, video games, they just have as long as they need to be able to do that. You know, and then you have games like Final Fantasy where, well, not even just Final Fantasy, just there's so many games that, yeah, in the span of 30 hours, they can make you care for characters so much that you start crying at the end when things happen to them, good or bad. Lovely. Madara Sage. And yeah, is that Young Kiba again? Yes, indeed. What game do you consider art? My movie appreciation class, we had a slight debate. We had a similar, I want to say it wasn't a debate because everyone agreed that video games are art at uni. That's a good question. Like the ones that I truly consider, like while video games are art, you know, I do, yeah, I know what you mean in that. Like there's some video games which are just like, no, this is something special. This is something else. Oh, that's a really good question. Because I mean, there's artistic and creative games like what's it? If you've ever played, I think it was PlayStation only, the Unfinished Swan. That was an incredible game. Short but incredible, where just like everything around you is just white, and then you throw a blob of paint, and it like splats on a surface, and suddenly, oh, that's a corner of a wall. And you just throw in paint everywhere, and you're able to like make out, and as it just splashes onto different surfaces, you're able to make out, oh, this is like a corridor, and there's a door, and I can go around there, and it's just like, it was incredible. And I mean, there's more to it beyond that, but it was artistic. Whether it was art though, like, I mean, I'm sure that, I mean, there's probably a whole heap of games, especially indie ones, that everyone's like, oh my god, this is art. I would say, and I know I harp on about this game a lot, but it's one of those games that's literally just stuck into my mind ever since I played it about half a year ago. Outer Wilds is probably art for me. It really discusses themes of mortality, space, meaning in life. Like it is just an absolutely incredible experience of a game. In the class we stayed a bit after to convince her. I said Final Fantasy 7. This was about. Oh, so your teacher didn't even. You're trying to convince your teacher. Interesting. Final Fantasy 7. I would agree on that. Yeah, actually, I would agree on that, especially when you get into like the very spiritual elements of FF7. You know, obviously it's, you know, that's big environmental message, but like its environmental message goes like a little bit beyond just, oh, look after the planet and don't like down with climate change, down with industrialism. It's like it goes a lot more than, way further than that. Like way further than that. And it's actually a disservice to the game to boil it down to, oh, it's just we're just eco warriors, you know. Okay, there's a lot of fun. And then by that account, I'd even say Final Fantasy X. That one's art. So third Raikage. What other ones? I feel like there's a lot. Probably like games like Asura's Wrath. Asura's Wrath would be a spectacle. Like in the same way that films are art forms, would be like games like Asura's Wrath and God of War. Just those big scale spectacle fights. And then by some merits, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, like spectacle fighters. Like ones where there's like really flashy combos. It looks incredible. It's really visual, very fluid. I'd even say that's art in a way. Yeah, and what got it was Minecraft. I like it. Yeah. I remember one specific video I watched, and it was like top 5 castles built in Minecraft. And it was, oh god, when was it? This was like 10 years ago. No, more than that. 8 years ago. Earlier than that, no, later than that, should I say. Yeah, and it was just absolutely beautiful, the things that people would make. Just generally like in awe at how utterly gorgeous these things are. Like, the fact that this was made by mortal hands and not a computer is just astounding. And I wonder if when Notch and the team were creating it, I wonder if they had an idea at what a cultural phenomenon this game would be when it came out. Because yeah, Minecraft is one of those games that will probably live forever. In 100 years' time, people will still be playing Minecraft. There'll be like Minecraft Plus come out or something. Actually, no, probably wouldn't even be that. They'll just keep expanding on the original game. Like the Minecraft dungeons and the Minecraft story one. I mean, as great as I'm sure they are, like they just there's something about this. The spirit of the OG is just incredible. So now actually no, the debate that we had at uni was whether mobile games are not necessarily like are they games, but do mobile games sit on the same tier as PC console games? Or are mobile games just forever are they just their own thing and can't even be called games? Like, can a mobile game be as great as, like, God of War or Final Fantasy? And not necessarily, like, mobile ports of games, but, like, yeah. Like Subway Surfers and Temple Run. Also, hopefully the game's not too loud. I think I've just got my headphones a bit loud, but let me know if things are a bit crazy in the audio department. So we've got a working Death Star. I've seen someone build, like, they played Doom on a computer in Minecraft. I've seen like working computers in Minecraft. It's insane what people have done. Like the fact, and that's it's one of the things that we learned in the game design theory class at uni was the difference between a complicated game and a complex game. And like, so example of a complicated game would be chess, let's say, chess is probably a bad example, but basically a game like Dungeons and Dragons would be a complicated game. There's so many rules, so many different components to it, they all have to be keeping track of. There's a lot you can do with those mechanics, but there's just so many of them, so the variety of actions and things that you can do are very much a product of the fact that there are so many rules. Whereas a complex game would be something like, if you've ever played Go, like the board game with just like the black and white tile of little stone dot thingies. That's a complex game in the sense that, or even chess to some degree, where there's not many rules at all, really. There's like, you can fit it on a piece of paper, but the amount of things you can do with those rules, the way that those rules can, like the amount of things that you can just do are vast, completely vast, but the amount of rules you can just fit on a scrap of paper. So like, the difference between complicated and complex. And for me, Minecraft sits in the complex category, because like when I think of Redstone, really, like as much as there's like lots of different like redstone components, and then they're adding more to it over time, but even if you just go back to the OG Minecraft, you got the redstone powder, you got levers, you've got switches, you've got buttons, you've got pistons, blah blah blah. But the fact that you can make a computer with those just like astounds me, that those relatively small number of components can be put together in such a configuration that you've now just built a working computer in Minecraft. So Minecraft, yeah, for me it's one of those things where it's a complex game. Not a lot of rules, quote unquote, but so much you can do with it, and it's incredible. It's honestly, it's one of those things that people will forever try to replicate and will never come close to. It's one of those like once in a lifetime games, once in a generation games, should I say. People who, like my dad, who in his lifetime seen like all their once in a lifetime games. Hanzo and young Sasuke. Yep. Gorgeous. No, wrong one. Handle that one. Yeah, they released. Oh, I didn't, but I did notice suddenly a surge of Minato articles on my like Google Discovery on my phone. I noticed like a heaps of Minato stuff randomly. Did I know about it? I feel like I did know about it, but I just haven't registered that it's like a fully released chapter. Or that they, or I think I heard it in the state that when they were still asking for it. In which case, cool. I definitely need to watch that. But yeah, or read it, should I say. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Great. I just need to stall enough time that my substitutions will build back up. Okay. Wait, where am I? Oh my god, I've completely forgotten which one I am. Great. I actually need to, okay, I need to check out that chapter after this. Because does it like give like a full backstory or just a particular moment in time? Oh, him ready though. Great. we'll read it after this. But they should hashtag totally do that with more characters. They need a what if Neji survived Great Ninja War and Sakura died in his place. Oh. As useless as she is, if Sakura didn't survive, then how would the fight with Kaguya go? Wouldn't have had the I'll say reverse uppercut, to help Naruto and Sasuke. Ooh, that'd be interesting. What the hell was that sound? When I touch score. Yes. The more I think about it, I feel like I need to like go back and read the chapter where Obito's telling Sasuke the whole, is it Itachi's story? Or is it, yeah, he's telling Itachi's story, isn't it? I just I just need to go read that again, because that's kind of like the moment where I'm like, okay, I actually like Itachi now. He's like one of probably the most well-written character in that whole manga series, easily. Oh my god, we've got more Kankuro fights coming up. Please say it ain't so. Results. Itachi got second. Shadow Sacrifice gonna be out of them. Hey, they made the choice to be Sakura fans. Oh, come on. AI has just gone into overdrive now. Oh yay, take that. Okay, but I'm glad that Itachi got second. It's so interesting that, I mean, as much as I don't like Sakura, would backstory make her any more likable to me? Possibly. Like, what could they possibly? Maybe if they showed what happened in the time skip, if they showed like her training. I would be happy with like Sakura's like medical ninja training, so we can actually get an insight into what the medical ninja training actually is like. I would dig that more so because it just shows the training, and less so because it's Sakura. In fact, actually, now I'm thinking I would almost want a Tsunade. I feel like they touch on. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, like I would actually even just like more stuff about the Sunny, when like and like missions that they went on and like how they all interacted with each other. Like was Orochimaru. Oh, now I just want like, now I just want Orochimaru's backstory. What made him go off the rock? Or did they, or have they shown that and I just haven't paid attention? Actually, no, he hasn't gone off his rock. Oh my god, there we are. We had made up so much time and I've just completely squandered it with these awful fights. Okay, well at least I've got these ones. Fabulous. There we go. Now we're taking back some time. And also the thing I do love though is that as much as they've got Boruto out, people are still clamouring for backstories on like Naruto characters. I do think that's kind of funny. Fabulous. Right now we're clawing back some time. Naruto, Rasen, and Sasuke Orochimaru. Fabulous. Alright, we are smashing through these again. Fabulous, that's what we want to see. Let's get that. Oh, I'm getting the timing good on these ones. I can filter it by country. I'll have to check that out at the end of this. So I got second in America. Oh my goodness. No, do move. Come to New Zealand. It's chill, it's great over here. And because we're like first in the world for when days took over, then video game releases go a lot nicer. Is that your dad? Might be more popular than she meant top 10. Really? Really? Well, now we know what places to blacklist then. That's disgrace. That's crusted, busted, and I'm disgusted. Just why? Is it because she's just so useless and people like she can't please give us something just to show that she's not 100% useless? Is that what it all is? That's like the only possible explanation. Apparently when you hear Ka's happily welcoming. She get is it in terms of the countries or the filter list, is there a New Zealand or is there an Oceania? Or an Australasia? Because depending on where you are and who you are, it's all different thing. Or is it just Australia? Actually, what am I about? I've got my tablet. Let's click on me. It's the top 20 characters. Interesting.
Here comes the finale.
Ranking by age. Oh my god. We voted Kakashi's dad in second place. Okay, Alright. See Oceania doing some interesting stuff there. I like it. I like it. Hold up. I've just got my little tablet with it on. Now, first off, I've just got to super quickly run a 3-minute ad. So let me just run that one. Run that there just to get the ads off. There we go. And then pick up my next fight, which is these. And I've also realised, also just super quickly, I've got to update the list of fights remaining, which we are at 47. So 4, 3, 4, 4, 7. Beautiful. Gorgeous, amazing, lovely, jubbly. Right, now results announcement. Don't want reading mode. Interesting. What do the females pick? It's really interesting. I do like this breakdown. I like. So now the website's frozen on my tablet. Okay.
I will go all
Female.
the way to the end.
So the age 40 to 49. Someone ages 40 to 49 picked Kakashi, and I like that. Oh my god, accept cookies, please. For some reason it's not updating for me. And it might just be the
Battle begins. Think again. Resistance is futile.
These ideas. No, that is fine. It is all good. I do realize when I stream, it is so late for you guys. So honestly, like, do not feel like you have to not go to sleep. Honestly, but no. Tears is a wild ride. It is indeed, isn't it? But no, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Hope all stays well. And you just have a fabulous upcoming week. But no, howdy. Oh, region spotlight, here we go. But no, if Scythers, if you haven't already, no, that is all good. I would rather you be a functional member of society than as much as, actually no, that sounds like so self-deprecating. You know what I mean? Like, please make sure you get enough sleep. That is the single most important thing. boogie. And eat lots of burgers as well.
Has been decided.
That sound will never not. That sound will never not be cute. Anyway, but no, nighty morning. Hope you have a fabulous sleep. Hope it's restful and you wake up ready to tackle the day. That is all I can ask, and that is all that I can pray to the Lord. But no, ciao.
Battle begins. I have no choice. Burn away.
I've just realised that Sasuke's melee damage is utterly pitiful. It is actually disgraceful how little damage he does. How is he not having any damage done? Am I just too... There we go. There we go. Right, that fight took way longer than it should have, but that's okay. Because I've got a puppet fight coming up. At least it's us three, so that's fine.
Battle begins. I will go easy on you.
Lovely. Oh, now, one thing, because my dad called up and he was saying that Baldur's Gate 3 gets like this proper release the same day that Starfield is coming out, so I think September the 6th, I think. And I'm like, oh, that's right, Baldur's Gate 3, that's the game I want to play. And if it's got the co-op a la Divinity Original Sin, me and the boy, I'm thinking that'd be a good game for me and the boy, because we're trying to find good co-op games to play together. And I think I haven't actually played a strategy game like that with him before. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, that's right, Baldur's Gate. I could even possibly, if the boy doesn't want to play it, then I could even stream that. That'd be fabulous. But then, I don't know if you've heard. They had a presentation and they showed something from the game, and it's just like, I don't think I can stream the game. Just in case. Well, actually, no, it's an RPG, so I am fully 100% in control of those situations. Actually, no, never mind, I can stream the game. I just can't, my character just has to be, a woman of God, basically. The whole of it. But I'm just like, if you haven't heard, I won't say, 'cause it's very rude, and the children, any children who are watching, it is extremely rude. Don't play Baldur's Gate 3. But I've noticed that that sort of stuff's coming into games more and more. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing is up to the imagination. Up to the they've taken a page from Cyberpunk 2077's book, I've heard. Which I mean, if it all, like, if it's all in service of what romantic options are available to you, you know, you're picking your bits, and someone's like, I don't like that bit, but I like this bit instead, then, you know, there's that, I guess. Part of me's like, okay, like, sure, have whatever you want in your games, like, it's your game, do whatever you want. And to be honest, if this place was if we did live in a fantasy land, if we did live in the Forgotten Realms, it would happen. Like, really, like, it would happen. You'd get some weird stuff, but it's like, do we really need it in a game? Do we really need it in a game? I know who played an FG made a character only stop saying exactly. It's like, see, I can pick my torso width, I can pick my hip width, I can pick how chunky my legs and arms are, I can pick what my face looks like, I can pick even what hairstyle I have, but you know what I really wanted to pick? You know what just really put the icing on the cake? Like, oh, I don't know. Very, 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 very mixed opinion about it. Yeah, it's just... yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to normalify it, I guess. Like, you know, in this progressive world we live in, it shouldn't matter what's down there. So let's make it really normal by just putting it in every character customization list that we're gonna do now. I'm just really curious what the rating is on this game. Is there a rating on the game? Because, like, if it was like a PG or like a 13 or something, then I would be concerned. But I suppose the concern comes in depending, like, and actually I suppose if they had that stuff, it's definitely not a, it'll be like mature, like an R18. Actually no, it won't be R18. It'll be the same as whatever, like, Mass Effect and Dragon Age was. Oh, speaking of RPGs, but not really. I watched a video today. A guy on, I think it was either last night or the night before, mentioned there was this channel called RPG Challenge Runs on YouTube, and it's fantastic. Oh my god, I watched a video today of he showed that it is possible to finish Pokemon Yellow with only Pikachu and only using the move Metronome. No healing items at all, and no buying things from a store. So you can't buy anything from the Pokemart. You can't heal in battle with items. You can only do it like if you're healing from whatever move the Metronome move picks. Because Metronome, it just picks a random move from a pool of possible ones. And so it's completely random what you get. And his rules had that, because Metronome is literally the only move he can pick, if he gets, oh god, what is it? Is it not mirror move or transform? Anything that means that he's pressing a button other than Metronome, he has to reset the fight. And because Metronome only has, I think it starts off with 10 PP, as soon as he runs out, that's it, he's got to restart again. So he has to reset every time he runs out of moves, every time he accidentally, well not accidentally, every time the move is transformed, like anything like that. And can you beat Pokemon Yellow with only that tech? And it is indeed possible. It took him in like an insane amount of retries, like insane amounts of retries, but he actually did it. And I just think that's incredible. It is so incredible. It's like Nuzlocke challenge on steroids. And like it's literally complete RNG. Like it's actually complete RNG. When you think about it, there's little to no skill, really. And then he also did, is it possible to beat Tales of Arise without using any arts at all? So the only attacks he could use was just your basic attack, and then like the boost attacks where you kind of like do the combo move with someone else. Basic attack and boost attacks were the only ones you can use. And was there something else you could do? No, you can't, no. And then use healing items, and that's it. Can't use any arts at all. And he did, he showed bar one, the only, you can technically do it with the only exception being that the in-game tutorial there's a tutorial battle to show you how to use Mystic Arts. And there's literally zero, and to do a Mystic Art, you have to do a normal art. And there's no possible way past this fight without using a Mystic Art. And because the enemies are just completely invulnerable until you use a Mystic Art. So he said bar one fight, which it's up to you whether it counts or not, because it's a tutorial fight that you have to do, it's absolutely scripted. It is otherwise possible to beat the game using only basic attacks and boost attacks, which I think is incredible. It's just like this guy does the most insane challenge runs. It's mental. Like, and I watched one, I think the other one that I watched, he hasn't actually got many videos. Most of the challenge runs he does are actually like Persona runs. So I've got no metric to go on, like on certain things that things he'd be talking about, but he did one Final Fantasy 12 where no magic, no summons, it was solo Vaan, so no other, he has to remove everyone else from the party. If he has a guest party member, he has to kill them, so they don't attack. Like, literally every point of damage has to come from Vaan. So no guest characters, so he has to kill all the guest characters as they come in. No gambits, he has to take all the gambits off. And he's not allowed to buy anything from a shop. Can't buy a single, not even a little potion. Everything has to be found or dropped by enemies. And I think it is possible. It is possible to do it. And it's mental, I think, and think the only exception being there's a bit later on in the story where you have to summon, there's one summon in particular that you have to do, which is Belias. You have to summon him to get past a door, for story reasons, and that's the only, again, like the only exception to it. And again, because he said, because I wasn't doing it in battle, and you literally just summon him and then cutscene and that's it, it's again up to technically it's sort of half, doesn't really count, because it wasn't a combat encounter. Yeah. But this guy's dedication is insane. Absolutely insane. Because like there's some there was one in Final Fantasy 12. There was one dungeon he was in, and it's Barine Passage, and it's you go in there right in the middle, towards the beginning of the game, and you have to go there, and then you can go there as there's an optional. You can unlock it again optionally to get a summon way later in the game. But in the first time you're there, there's these like bug things that like sap the electricity from the lights, and I think something happens when the lights go out. And he said he was in there for 8 hours. Like 8 real hours grinding to be able to get to a point where he's able to defeat these bugs fast enough to stop them draining all the electricity. But imagine grinding in an early game dungeon, like early as in like the first 10 hours, if that, first 8 hours. And young Naruto. No, that one. God, now my ear's really itchy. Fabulous. How many fights are we ahead? Oh, we're 7 fights ahead of the curve. Oh, that's fantastic. So you had an hour and a half. The standard is that we would be at 100, or an hour and a half. The standard is that we'd be at 60 fights, and we're now currently on 67. So we are massively ahead of the curve. look at the list. We've got a second Mizukage fight coming up, and he tends to actually be, at the start I thought he would actually be pretty decent, but he's actually not. Toad and Kisame.
Battle begins.
Fabulous. Some other, I'm trying to think what some other, I feel like, I was going to say is there some other life goals, but not really. It's been a long weekend, but, I mean the only thing I've accomplished is finishing FF16. Oh, and I suppose I've completed my, got my 3,000 plus Magic the Gathering cards, that I've fully dumped into a giant Excel spreadsheet of every single card I own, how many I own, and then even going as so far as to which box are they in. I've labelled all the boxes. I've got like my archive boxes, so they're all A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Although there's nothing in A10. So I've got all them listed. I've got like how many I have, all their abilities, all typed out in painstaking detail. All ready to go. So if you're like, oh, Frizzy, do you have, I don't know, Stone Rain? And I'm like, let me just have a quick look. Clickety clackety clack. Oh, I do actually. I have 4 of them. 2 of them are in this box, and then the other 4 are in this box. Yeah. Would you also like to know how many mountains I have? Well, I have 23 mountains in this one. Because of there's mountains in this deck, that there's 12 over here, 10 over here. Would you like one? Would you like 20? Because I have 35 in this one. And you know, all of that would be fabulous. Completely and utterly useless, really, unless someone was asking if I had a particular kind of card. So I could actually say with confidence whether I actually had a card or not. So there's that. But also for me, I'm one of the, like, you'd come to my house, I would be absolute disorganized mess. You're like, oh god, this place is just it's not a hoarder's nest. I do love stuff. It's not as bad as a hoarder's nest, but I've got a lot of things, and it's not in any. It's a bit of an organized chaos at the moment. But paradoxically, I absolutely love organizing and categorizing stuff on a spreadsheet. Like all my books on my bookshelf. If I had like 10 bookshelves, I would have a list of every single book I own, where on the bookshelf it would be. Like I'd have every part of the bookshelf like fully like labeled, categorized. So shelf L3, you know, or it would have shelf. So maybe the code would be like 3 or 7. So it'll be on bookshelf 3, shelf 4, position 7. she'd be like, oh, do you have this book? And I'd be like, I sure do. And you're like, oh, where is it? And I'd be like, well, let me consult my spreadsheet. Oh, boom, 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 it's right here. Done. And then you can then consult the spreadsheet. So where does the book have to go back on the bookshelf? It's got to go back right here. Which could very easily fall apart as soon as we stop, whether by force of habit or just completely forgetting. As soon as I don't put a book back in the right spot, then that entire system falls apart, because then every book on that shelf would be the wrong number. But in principle, it sounds like a fab idea. Lovely. So how many fights have we got? I've got 23 fights. No, I've actually got 23 fights to go after this. Oh my goodness, these fights are going so incredibly fast. Because all I want to do is get down to the 3,300s. Or basically 96 fights, or 97 fights more like, because now I'm on odd numbers, so it'll be 97 fights I'll be doing. I might even be able to do a few more, I might even just do 100 just for the sake of it. Or 99. And gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm getting through these so fast. Yeah, no, because I was thinking, like, now that I've got my Magic the Gathering sheet, beautiful. My next thing, though, is to put in, like, the little icons on it, but I actually don't think I will, because I can't seem to find, like, a one that's actually will put them in a nice way, but that's fine. But now that I've got this, I'm, like, trying to think about what else can I categorize. I could categorize my game shelf even, but then I've already got, like, my game tracker, and so I would kind of be wanting to put it on there. I suppose I could actually put it on another tab. It's the beauty of spreadsheets, you can have multiple tabs. So I'd want to put it on another tab. And then I also don't have as many books as I would like. I don't have enough books to really constitute doing a spreadsheet quite yet. See, if I was at my mum and dad's house, categorising their bookshelf, they've got a bookshelf the size of a wall, just complete, like, fully, not even joking, floor, literally the floor to ceiling, and, like, it's just absolutely huge. They must have hundreds upon hundreds of books. So that's gonna be fun when we've got to go through the house. And also all the siblings, me and my me and my 4 siblings all fighting over which books we want. Beauty. Yeah, what else could I do? I did have one grand vision, and when I think about it, will probably be the biggest undertaking of my life. It will be incredibly and utterly unmanageable. But if I had a good enough organization system, it could be possible. Is literally in a giant spreadsheet, categorize and create an inventory of every single item I own. Like every book, every pencil, every box, every poster, every bag, every piece of clothing, every birthday card that I've saved, everything. And categorize it all in one giant spreadsheet with the location and the purpose. So then if the boy's like, oh hey, do you know where our sellotape is? I'm like, oh, 1 second. Let me go and consult my little inventory. I'm like, we've got 3 rolls of sellotape. Should be 1 in the kitchen drawer, 1 on the shelf, and 1 in the garage. Take your pick. And then I'm like, oh, do I have a Vivid or a Sharpie? I do, and it's in this art box. Like, in theory, it would be utterly brilliant, and it would be fabulous, and it would take forever. It would take weeks and weeks and weeks to do. But just think, every single, you've taken a complete stock take of your life. I absolutely love it in theory, but it would be absolutely horrendous to do in practice. Unless, like I said, you clear out a whole bunch of stuff, so suddenly you're not having to deal with as many things, and you've got a beautiful organization system, so like it's easy to put things back in the right spot. So like after like day 2, you've already like put 20 things all in the wrong places. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll do it. Right. Is this fight 78? Ooh, 79. Oh my goodness. I think my strategy of just spamming the same jutsus over and over again is actually really, really working in my favor. This is fabulous. focus.
Impressive.
Kimimaro.
Battle begins.
Oh, no, got him first. Okay, good.
Over here. Over here. There you are. Oh, too bad.
There we are. Lovely. Got another Kimimaro coming up, so that might take a little bit longer.
Battle begins. There you are.
Because it's Kabuto, we're not allowed to use an ultimate, even though there have been many a time where I've kind of accidentally done one-ish. And I say accidentally, more so I'm just mashing too many buttons too quickly, and I'm accidentally pressing Y twice. Fabulous.
Impressive.
Okay. And even just scanning the upcoming ones. I've got quite a few ones, quite a few fights coming up where I can get like lots of damage in fast, lots of really good jutsus and ultimates as well. Might actually do 2 of these. Lovely. Fabulous. Okay, then we've got Kiba and a Sasuke. This will probably be... which one's Sasuke Tucker? This one might be a little bit slow, because Kiba never plays nicely. At least not with me, anyway. Oh, and as I say that, I managed to get ultimate straight off the bat. Get another one in. not even a dent on me. Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. Right. Chuck fireball on. Just looking, I've got some really good fights coming up. I do have a young 10-10 thrown in there, but that's fine. Not today. Right, Minato and Sasori. Do another one of those. Fab. Gorgeous, beautiful, amazing. Iconic, lovely, beautiful, appreciative, grateful, fantastic, amazing, epic, never before seen before. I'm gonna do 3 of these.
Thought it would come to this.
Okay, right, I've got 9, technically 10 more fights to go. So let's get on into it. So we've got Lee and Kisame. These 10 fights are gonna go fast. Goodness gracious me. I think this actually also might be the fastest I've ever done. I think this might be my fastest pace I've ever had. Because I'll be able to get to 100 in probably, maybe not quite 100. I mean, I could try for 100, couldn't I? Be the fastest I've probably ever gotten to 100 fights, or 99 fights. Kurama. This, I feel like these fights are going to slow us down now. I feel like I've jinxed it by saying how fast we're going. I've probably completely jinxed it. One thing I do find unfair, though, one thing I do really find unfair, and I'm actually going to time it as well. I've actually been thinking of timing it when I can pay more attention, is I swear to God that the enemy, that your opponent, whoever you're facing, computer, when they run out of substitution, that substitution comes back and their rate that the substitution gauge fills is faster than yours. I could swear my life on it. Because it definitely feels that way, and I'm sure that it's not actually the case. It won't be the case, but it certainly feels that way. And it might be just because I'm paying more attention to mine. Just because I want it to fill back up and less so on theirs. But it really truly does feel like their thing is just, they seem to just have a far more substitution stuff than I do. And they're just really, really smart about using it. That's actually a character I haven't played much of. Orochimaru. And also, now that I think about it, I'm also hitting them a lot more, and that's driving their substitution up. So it's actually, I think I'm just, the fact that I'm actually hashtag so good, I'm answering my question for me about why they have so much substitution. It's because I'm hitting them too much. I'm doing too much damage. Or rather, I'm doing too many hits on them. That'd probably be a better way of saying it. Okay, right, now we've got Kushina and Sasuke Kage. Okay, just thinking whether I do.
Going to blow you away! My blood is going to use this.
Ow. Oh my god. Sir, can you not? There we go. Where are we? Sasuke Kage, that one there. I'm gonna do a fireball jutsu.
Take this.
Time for the spammage. Hello, how are you? How long I got? 2 more fights after this. Yeah. Thank you. Managed to get like almost 100 fights done in just under, or just over 2 hours. Which is like probably like my fastest pace I've gotten to, like ever. I'll be out soon. Okay, thank you. Alright, Kabuto and Kaguya. Thinking. So after these I'm going to be at 97. And I feel I'm going to take myself all the way up to 100, I reckon. What is that weird sound? Because I heard it on the Conqueror one, and I thought it was like residuals from his ultimate, but it can't be. It's odd. Gorgeous. So I might actually do, after this fight with Kaguya, then it'll be 4 more, I think. So there'll be an Itachi, a Naruto, a Kakashi, and a Haku. realised I'm drinking so much water. I've needed to go to the bathroom so much today and yesterday, and I don't know why. Because I've heard that apparently when you drink water. Okay, I think what's happened is that for some reason the game has just loaded in a way that whenever someone does that whatever you call it move, like the guard break explosion thingy, the game's loaded in such a way that does this weird like whirring sound with it. Because I remember ages ago, probably like day 17 or something, the game loaded and I can't remember exactly what the problem was, but there was some really weird audio glitch. A really weird audio glitch on one particular day, and it sorted itself out, but I just remember for this one thing I'm like, oh god, don't tell me like the game is installed this way. But no, it was just on this one day, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember I had such grief with it. Like such grief. Well, some of the audio mixing was weird. Naruto and Tachi. Let's fight 99. There we are. So I thought I'll do extra fights now, because the more fights I do now, the less I have to do later. And we can get to that beautiful, beautiful day 0 ever the faster. Gorgeous. Far out. Alright. It's now Kakashi and Haku. Okay, last 2 fights of today. Let's go. Beautiful. Well, I hope next time I'll do fights as fast as I'm doing these ones, because this is mental. Because if I think about it, so 2 hours 15 minutes roughly. Going by the metric, I would have 90 fights done then. I've managed to get 101 done. So I've managed on average to do like an extra 11 fights, which is actually like another 15 minutes worth of fights, really. 15, 17 minutes worth of fights. Which is pretty decent.
Please don't resent me. This is the fate of a ninja.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, fabulous. Okie dokie. Right, that is that, and that takes us down to 3,395. Wow. Okay, that will do me for this fine, fabulous evening. I will be streaming normally Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. I won't be streaming, but then I'll be streaming again probably the following Tuesday. We'll see how I go there, but I'll definitely do day 97. But yeah, but no, I'll leave it there. I've got nothing really else to say other than thank you for hanging out. It's been fabulous having y'all. Stay well, stay rested, make sure you get lots of sleep, stay hydrated, stay fruity fresh, stay fabulous, drink lots of cups of tea, eat lots of ice cream, look after yourselves in this uncertain climate, both literally and figuratively. But no, stay safe. I love y'all. Bye.